Callum Ward. And so let's get this second half underway. It'll be Rory Lobb, Nathan Vardy. So a big challenge ahead for the West Coast Eagles if they are to keep the dream alive. The Tigers await Saturday night at the MCG. Critis has found the going pretty tough tonight. Only got it as far as Delidio. Now Shield. This has been the pattern. A lot of run. They've used the ball well. Good to see Whitfield back out there. Not his best kick of the night. In the end, off hands and a boundary throw.
What did you think, Daz? You thought it was accidental from Petrie coming through?
Yeah, I did. He was just trying to work his way through, but it was one of those elbows that flushed Whitfield in the jaw, and he was a bit wobbly, but clearly he's okay to be out there to start the second half.
Yeah, quite right. No malice intended, but it did get him flush when he wasn't expecting it. Critis, gaff, and standing up. Well, there's a little fitness test, and he looks fine. Playing a big game. Lockie Whitfield, this will be disposal number 12. Lobs down deep. We saw him a moment ago. Get a run at this. Vardy in front did well. Now Kelly over the footy. McGovern, Himmelberg. McGovern is hard to move. Got the footy in his hands. Gaff, Redden across goals. Bit too much on for Duggan. Oh, this is dangerous, but Shuey, well, probably the right man in that situation. Saw Green coming at him, but got the footy over the line, Richo.
Criticised across this year, GWS, for their lack of forward pressure. I think it's been a real feature tonight for me. They really have worked hard. So Toby Green working overtime. Stevie J in the ruck, if you don't mind. It's a hopper. Pushed as he kicked it. And McKenzie able to take that without too many issues at all. Ooh, little dangerous ball to Wellingham.
Back 1 metre. Thank you.
Going to have to be bold, West Coast, if they are to find a way in this game. That one down the line. Cripps did well to compete. Redden's found a lot of the footy tonight. Jetta not so much. Now Wellingham. And a succession of handballs to Shepherd. The Shepherd kick, though, was an awkward one. She brought it to ground now. Cripps followed up nicely. Great opportunity here. They might have moved Yoda to the forward line.
Yeah, he has, Dust.
Spent most of his season down back. He's had a couple of stints in the forward line, not his best kick. And Jacob Hopper, young gun for the Giants.
He just rushed that then. He didn't have anyone in position, so Yo just needed to hold it up a little bit and wait for some players to make position for him.
Whitfield. Here's Shield. 35 points the margin at half-time. They're just a half away from their second successive preliminary final. Won't be at home this time, though. The Tigers await the winner of this one. Gaff, Critis, well done. Hopper stole the footy back. Their intent's so good tonight. Cornelio trying to run away from McKenzie. Gives the ball back to Whitfield. On the lead. Out in front of Williams. Gets it on the bounce. Redden stays off him. Squares it up. Lockie Whitfield again. Well, what a response this has been from Whitfield. He was down and out at half-time. Very groggy on his feet. But his start to this second half has been remarkable.
This was great. A great hard ball get there. And then they were just out everywhere. They were lining up for this ball. Couple of handball receives. Whitfield follows up. And that's that wave running again that they're so good at when they get up and going.
This will make it in excess of 40 points. Lockie Whitfield, late starter we know. In game 17 for the year for goal number 11. Offline. And we're back to an even 6 goals and still hope for the Eagles.
Sherrod Wellingham. Disposal number 8 coming up for the only inclusion tonight for the Eagles. Patton nearly marked it. Pritis to Shuey. Shuey found a way through heavy traffic, as he often does. Strange little kick from Gaff. Wanted Kennedy. Here comes Pritis again. Whitfield working really hard. Did superbly well. Kelly, slick handball to Hopper. Can he get past Vardy? He can't. The big man did a good job on that occasion.
Rory. Nathan. Thanks, guys.
So a succession of interchanges of players. When they're in the right spot, they all take the opportunity to get off the ground. This one's thrown in right in front of the interchange race. Lob So Petrie, Callum Ward. It's a clever ball to Toby Green in front.
We heard Mummy talking about how proud he was of the midfield winning it at the source, and they've continued in that vein early here. They're just getting first use, and then they just run and carry out of it so well.
Patton got a good look at it. Big contested mark, John Patton. And that will do his confidence the world of good. He just kicked a couple of behinds last week against the Crows in the final. He missed a couple in the first quarter, and that's what they want him to do.
Yeah, launched at it. He's only kicked 2 goals in the last 3 games. Missed 2 easy ones in the first quarter. He pushed them both left, so let's see what he does with this one.
2 knee reconstructions. Incredible to see him out there. He's coming into tonight 42 goals for the season. A couple behinds in the first quarter. He generally kicks them well, and that is a beautiful start to the second half for the Giants. When he's further out, he relaxes into the kick, and as you said earlier, Richo, he's as good a set shot kick as there is in the game. Surprising that he just had a pretty poor start goal kicking in the first quarter.
You'd back him in from 50, wouldn't you, every time? It's a beautiful, fluent action. That was a great contested mark. He's played pretty well tonight. He's gone into the ruck. He's gone behind the footy a little bit as well. Now he's kicked a goal. Didn't make the same mistake the third time there, Johnny Patton. Nice goal. And that smaller forward line with Patton as the sole tall, that just looks better.
9 of the last 11 goals now, GWS. It's been a domination. Redden thought he might have been going to get a free kick to Lidio. What a week he's got coming up if this status quo is maintained. Wilson, brilliant, gives the ball to Cornelio. Again down in the Patton direction. Look at the take, so clean. Uses De Boer. Patton got a round gaff. That was clever. Can he get it over Mitchell? No. Mitchell in the hole, filling the gap, and possibly now his last half of AFL football, his Sheed.
Yeah, and the Sheed kick's not great at all. He had Kennedy going back the other way. They just got their communication mixed up. The Giants, they're showing some of that really quick movement that had them premiership favourite at various stages throughout this year. Midfield's been called to play on. Just the 3-quarter 9-iron style kick. Green came at it in front. Patton got cleaned up by the pack. Stevie J lurking with intent, and with the head wrapped up, Stevie, he would be well aware that a prelim final awaits, and no man would be keen to be out there. I'm told that he's wandered past the coaches regularly in the last week saying, I've got 120 minutes in me, I'm good to go, I know I can still do it, you've got to get me out there, and he's looked pretty good tonight, Stevie.
Right now he's looking like he might have to do it again next week. Patton up in front, Johnson trying to make sure of it. Kelly, Patton, look at the way he's playing, the big man, remarkable skill. Green, Barras dropped the mark. Oh, Stevie J, they're 8 goals in front. Well, it's going to take the power of keeping him out of that side for next week now. Steve Johnson.
He'll be there next week. This performance here, it'd be hard to see any changes next week. It's been a great effort by everyone all across the ground. Now Stevie's hit the scoreboard. And he'd be eyeing a few more off, because this game is opening right up.
Just quicker play on calls when they just drift around.
A little bit of vintage Stevie J here, involved in the stoppage, got the handball out to Kelly, and then worked down hard. Work rate's been a big part of his game for so many years, finishing with a goal. As you said, Das, he's been in the coach's office, he's been walking past the coach, training well. I think he's played very well tonight. Hasn't had huge possessions, but his influence has been important.
Here they go again, the Giants. Green flicked the clever little handball out back to Shaw. Sends it down in the Patton direction, and McGovern, he does that better than anyone in the game, Jeremy McGovern.
They just look a little bit spent, the Eagles. The spread out of the stoppages by the Giants. The Eagles are just trailing them out. It's got danger signs all over it now.
Yeah, this one's going to come back with interest, you would think. There it is, a Wilson kick. Stevie! Oh, he's done it beautifully. contested mark from the champ. And don't worry about him playing in the prelim final.
G. Wilson gets length on the kick. That was always targeted towards Stevie, but he had to get it over the back, and that extra long leg of Wilson, Stevie loved it. He'll kick this.
The 2007 Norm Smith medalist kicks a couple in a row. Have a look at him. He is just right on top of his game. A little message to the bench. I've got some more in me.
Did he say I'll kick one more, then come off?
I reckon that was it. I reckon that was the message.
One more.
Why would you get me off at the moment?
And he outmarked Barris and McGovern, if you don't mind. Stevie J feeling it. Feeling his way into another preliminary final.
Look at that contested mark for Stevie, and he's pushed everyone else up now, Das. He's playing the deepest forward. He said, get out of it. He's looking at Patton saying, just get up a little bit further. I'm one out at the moment.
Stevie semicircle. Critis at the bottom of that pack along with Hopper.
It's like danger last night. It's like, get out of my way. I'm on.
Gee, that Giants forward line looks better when they're the five smalls, as you said, and just Patton. It just looks so much more dangerous, and Stevie's feeding off that as well.
Hey, Lingy, what did that mean, that number one to the bench?
That would have meant just give me one more. I'll kick another goal. You guys are absolutely spot on. He's feeling it right now. There's no way he wants to go to the pine.
They all are. Ward to Hopper. Not quite the mark to Green, but the follow-up from Kelly, superb. Got it back from Whitfield. Now Deledio. Oh, Deledio. The Tigers await.
Now Brett Deledio's feeling it. This is good signs for the Giants. Steve Johnson finding a bit of form. Brett Deledio kicking goals and running off half-back. Oh, it's going to be a big week for him.
It's a 10-goal lead now. It's blown right out.
Well, Stevie J in on the action, and now the other veteran, Brett Deledio. He's running off half-back. He loved this, and everyone got to him. It'll be a big week for Brett. The number one draft pick, spent so long at Richmond. We love the stories that come out of footy.
Yeah, there's some big ones coming up this week with the prelim final on Cameron Play at the Tigers. Wayne Campbell, the football manager, a champion of the Richmond Football Club, Brett Deledio. And I think more importantly, the Giants have got their mojo back big time. They look really sharp. Barris can't keep it in. Under some pressure.
Could it be any better, Darcy, than Brett Deledio playing in a preliminary final against his old team, and Patrick Dangerfield playing in a preliminary final against his old team? It'll just be fantastic build-up. And the Giants, as you said, they've been superb. And Richmond will be sitting back watching this thinking, OK, the Giants are back to their absolute best now. They're going to have a huge game on their hands.
Brett Deledio has never played against the Tigers. Missed the majority this year. So looks like it's going to happen in prelim final. Here's Darling. Hasn't had a huge influence tonight. Gaff under more pressure. And it spills into the lap of Heath Shaw.
Special milestone for the Shaw family with the game that Heath pocks up tonight. 260 in his career and all up. Cousins, uncles, brothers. 1,000 games of VFL, AFL football. It's quite an effort, isn't it? What a footballing family.
Sure is.
Perfectly said, does.
Thank you.
So 10 goals. Here he is, Heath Shaw. His brother got a premiership in Sydney. Could he get one with Greater Western Sydney? Scully at the bottom of that pack. Pritis with him, and so for Sam Mitchell, Matt Pritis and Drew Petrie coming towards an end of their glittering and brilliant and courageous careers. Hopper, that was brilliant by Shield. Hopper's kicked though out of bounds on the full.
Spoken about the forced changes in this side, Richo, with Jeremy Cameron and Big Shane Mumford out. But I like it for John Patton as well, because it forces him to play minutes in the ruck, gets him up into the game a bit more. Rory Lobb, he looks to me like a genuine ruckman. He's thrived tonight. Here he is going into this contest, but it gets him involved, and when he goes forward, he looks like a better player as well. So you would never want Jeremy Cameron or Shane Mumford out of your side, but I think this is a more dangerous looking GWS bit happening behind the footy. Jetta wants to go on with it back there. In the meantime, it's the Giants going forward. Patton, too strong for Barris, nearly took the mark. Handball over the top. Green struck the tackle, and then the second one was too good.
Thank you, give it to me. Thanks, Tom. Just there.
Well done by Barris. He had to fly and then had to get involved on the ground as well. Tried hard. Here's Mackenzie. Mitchell driving the ball towards the wing. Darling paid the mark.
It was always a big ask for the Eagles, wasn't it, after that huge game last week, extra time, back to Perth, then back to Sydney. Some older players in their team.
Ward, Taranto and quickly Williams. How about that movement? Green, who's kicked 3 goals tonight. He's been a star. Goes to the pocket. Himmelberg on the bounce. He had a lot of time. He steadies down, but offline.
They just haven't been able to cover the ground tonight, the Eagles.
61 points, and the inclusion of Taranto, it signalled the intent of Leon Cameron, didn't it? They were going to go hard and fast, and as fast as they could against that tired West Coast side from last week.
Still issuing instructions, the GWS coach. Pritis. And now Gaff sidestepped around Toby Green. Vardy. Chance one-on-one. Well done, Phil Davis. Core now. Back to Shield. Wilson and back to Dylan Shield. Wanted to take Sheed on. Sheed did really well. Great effort. Just stared him down and effected a beautiful tackle to Big Drew Petrie. He was enormous last week in the final against Port Adelaide. Huge factor in their win. Kicked a couple of big goals, 15 disposals. Played a big role in the ruck. Decides he's going to pull the trigger to Vardy. Had a good look at it, couldn't quite complete it. And now the hard-running Scully going to flick it through the corridor.
Here's Cornelio. What a game he's played. Short ball for Taranto into the middle of the ground. They're playing with such confidence at the moment. Williams, Whitfield on the overlap. Running hard, De Boer, and he marks inside 50.
They just can't go with them, the Eagles. Just watching that transition then. Giants players are just running past Eagles players through the middle of the ground. It's a tough 40 minutes now for the West Coast Eagles.
Well, Matt De Boer is playing for his place in the preliminary final team next week. Perryman and Reid, along with Simpson, with the emergencies. Perryman came close, but in the end, Leon Cameron decided not to play the Perryman. De Boer offline. In fact, didn't have the distance and fisted over for a behind. Thanks, Richard.
I liked it, Baz.
Working beautifully tonight, Basil, as Wellingham sends it out in the Redden direction.
Hold the meter.
62-point lead. Frustration for that man on screen. He's seen his side battle hard in the last couple of weeks to have this opportunity, but they've just been outplayed tonight, right from the first bounce. Stevie picked it half. He's sensing an opportunity to score another one. A left foot bender. Stevie's got another goal. He's got 3 this quarter.
He's got 3, and he's going to get more, because when he gets in this mood, he goes on with it, Stevie. He's sensing a little bag here.
Oh, yeah.
On the left, if you don't mind.
He loved it. A little bit of blood seeping through the bandage, but I'm with you. Once he gets a head of steam up, as
he senses it.
Oh, yeah.
When he gets a sniff.
Okay, Rocks.
First time in his career, Richo, that he's kicked 3 goals in a quarter in a final.
Well, there you go. He's ticked another box, the champ.
Who said you can't teach an old giant new tricks? He's playing next week, all right. And the Giants are setting up a Saturday showdown with Richmond for a spot in the grand final. Davis knocks it down. Shuey outside 50. Long kick clears the line. What a kick it was. Great effort from Luke Shuey. A long-range goal. Couple last week, and one of the most famous goals in West Coast history. Just their 5th goal of the game for the West Coast Eagles.
Great goal by Luke Shuey, but on the Telstra tracker it paints the picture as to why the Giants are dominating. That is distance covered there on the tracker. The Giants just all over them, running power. They're getting the ball to the outside, and then they're just going. That's why the Giants are on top in this game. Just sheer contested ball wins combined with running power.
It's when the Giants at their best, Lingy. They can be devastating in this sort of form.
Brett Deludio's 250th game too next week.
Yeah.
Just adds another layer to what already is an enormous football story next week.
Sure is. We spoke to Jeremy Cameron pre-game, and he said that he's virtually zero chance of playing again this year. So he'll have to look on. It'll be hard work. When one of their inaugural players, one of their out-and-out stars, here's Sam Mitchell. Still fighting hard, the champ. Gets it back. Advantage is scored, and he can't believe the decision. He's going to have to wear it. Here comes Callum Ward. Little toe poke is okay to Scully. Scully wanted Pat, and he slipped over at the inopportune time, and the Eagles can reload from defence.
Luke Shuey's still running hard. He's tried his heart out. Centres the ball up. Prittis. Duggan. Sweeps the handball to Yo. Now Lacroix on the end of it. 62 points is the margin. Less than 6 minutes remaining in this third term. A low kick, not a great kick, and Core runs away. That's what the Cores are famous for. Back to Kelly. And back again. The mark taken by Lobb. Boy from Bassendean. He left school at 14 because he was bullied. As a team was doing FIFO work in Tom Price. Now look at him. About to lead GWS, their ruck division, in a preliminary final. 54 games. The 24-year-old painting houses and driving bobcats in his late teens, and look where he is now.
Well, what's been made of their draft picks, GWS, we know that, but they've also got great stories like you just mentioned there. Rory Lobb, unconventionally coming into football. He's 207 centimetres tall, that man on screen there. 104 kilos. Great athlete. And I really like the fact he's doing that. I reckon he's a really good ruckman, Rory Lobb. So a few things maybe starting to fall the way of the Giants. Tonight, short kick from Whitfield was really clever to Canelio. Ankle injuries have kept him to just 8 games this year, Steve Canelio. But he looks sharp tonight as well.
Canelio Dars played in a winning WAFL Grand Final with Swan Districts as a 16-year-old back in 2010. Same waffle club as Lewis Jetta and Rory Lobb.
An outstanding player over the back. Barris decided he's going to try and take an all-time great mark. Didn't quite happen. Sheed now Redden. Lacroix wanted it through. Gaff under real pressure. They've been really good in the clinches tonight, the Giants. De Boer's kick was off the side of the boot, picked up by Hearn. Sends it down the line. Going back with the flight was Williams, and in the end a result he's probably not unhappy with.
Kennedy battled away.
Hasn't had a lot of clean ball coming inside 50 tonight, Josh Kennedy. Champ he is.
Needs one more for 70 in 3 consecutive seasons. Prittis tried hard there, but the kick was affected by the kick, and Haynes marked.
That is a big feat in 3 consecutive years, 70 goals.
He needs one more to do it, Richo. The last man to do it was Jonathan Brown, 2007, 2008 and 2009. Here's Deledio. Switches the ball.
That shows you how hard it is. Buddy hasn't done that.
Wilson off half back. What a clever kick that was. Absolute precision kick to Whitfield. Green, Yo trying to force his way through, got past De Boer. Now the ball with Sheed. Kick too high for Kennedy. Cord knocks it away. Umpire went down. Ball keeps coming. Brilliant by Cornelio. Got it from Kelly. Goes long. Stevie J! The nod of the head as soon as he hit the deck. You were right, Das. There's more coming. 4 in a quarter.
3 metres.
It's a good kick by Cornelio. Across his body. Well done by Jonathan Patton there. Just got in the way. Look at that. That's a great little shepherd from Patton.
You're down to 10 seconds.
How he's loving this. He's got the footy in his hands. He's kicked 3 goals. His team is heading for the preliminary final. And now Stevie J's got 4. In the term, if you don't mind.
No. If you're wasting time, the clock's... Okay, all odds. Mitch.
He's talking about he's allowed to run the clock down if he's getting his breath back.
How many players, when they've kicked 4 and they're heading for what they're heading for, would want to keep arguing with the umpire, but that's the Stevie J way.
Just a fierce competitor.
On a serious note, this is fantastic for Steve Johnson's confidence. A bloke who knows what the big games are all about, knows that he can perform, but even he would have had doubts over the last month or so if his body would allow him to do what his mind wants him to do. But to be able to kick 4 goals in a quarter in a semi-final would just build that belief again that he can still play at the highest level and play finals footy.
Yeah, more to come too. I think Lingy's the deepest forward on the ground at the moment. He's cleared some space out. We'll see if they can get it in his direction. Nath Wilson normally uses it well by foot. Beautiful pick-up, Canelo. Look at that. Just pure skill. And there's gaps everywhere. Kelly overlap run from De Boer. Unusual floating sort of kick. Hard one to mark. What a giant down behind play.
Nick Haynes does, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
And does not look good the way he's grabbing at that knee. Oh, such a wonderful footballer and important for this Giants team. He's being helped to his feet now by the trainers, which I would take as a good sign, but hobbling right now, very sore behind play.
Well, let's hope that isn't what it seems to be. Lingy will follow that very carefully. We'll get the replay up as soon as we can to find out what happened behind the footy. As Jack Darling pushes up.
Turned around and running the other way now.
Trying to stay back on the ground because he thinks the ball's coming down. I'd be getting him straight off the ground. He doesn't need to do anything now. Don't risk hurting it anymore.
Yeah, it's a good point, Lee, especially if you change direction and something's not quite right. We'll follow Nick Haynes and make sure that we'll get you updated. In the meantime, an intercept mark from McGovern, but well, he seems to be moving okay, Nick Haynes.
He looks all right, doesn't he? Doesn't want to come off.
Maybe he's just run it out and he's fine. I'll take it all back. He's moving beautifully.
Not often a knee injury gets run out, Lingy, but I wonder whether it was just a knock to the kneecap perhaps, and maybe a lot of pain without any structural damage. Certainly looks that way at the moment. Yo, meanwhile, Whitfield, Duggan. Whitfield's been superb tonight.
He's coming from the ground now, so he's going to be checked out. Let's check out what happened here with Nick Haynes. He went to fly for the mark and maybe landed a little awkwardly, but maybe copped the knee. Hard to tell from that.
I reckon his foot, or no, he copped the boot into the kneecap. Yeah, you can see that on the replay. The Kras boot smashed into the kneecap, so that'll be fine. Well, good news. We're a bit worried about the way it looked initially. Here comes Dylan Shield. Brilliant movement. Took a bounce through heavy traffic and a second. They have got some confidence going at the moment, the Giants. In the end, probably not the ideal play, but
yeah, they're just walking out of these stoppages now. And we know the Eagles are cooked. It's really hard for them now in this game. And he's just waltzed away there, Dylan Shield.
Cornelio, Lob, Kelly, Shield, great players, great hair. I know you love your music, Richo.
That can take your kick. You got the free kick. Just come down, Matty. Hold there.
I was going to say they look like the Jersey boys, the midfield. Look at McGovern just down and sucking it in. So 100 points for GWS and a quarter away from a Saturday preliminary final against Richmond. 15-10, 5-2, and that man 4 goals in the quarter. The Giants by 68 points and heading for the preliminary final.